It wasn't deliberate. It was a kind of a measure to control any unforeseen crisis in the party. That was why we didn't hold neck meetings all this while. But we've been holding neck meetings. Next month we'll hold. After that, we'll be holding to make sure that we put the party in order. We are just focused right now on, ensuring that we are united and produce national officers that will ensure that Nigerians appreciate this party more. National officers that will ensure a people's party that will also elect candidates come 2026, candidates that will, will have the Nigerian appeal, so to speak. So that is what we are focusing on right now.
Okay. Now, unlike what the PDP did in 2023, when it threw its presidential ticket open, the People's Democratic Party, as of a result of this NEC meeting, has zoned its 2027 ticket to the South. Now, this is in tandem with Wednesday's decision of the founding party fathers of the party. Now, the PDP also announced that the elective national convention would now take place in Ibadan, which we've talked about, instead of Kano, a decision that may deepen the rift between the camps of the minister of the FCT and the governor of Oyo State. Now, what is from you were at the NEC meeting, was there any resistance to the suggestion that the convention should go to Ibadan or your state by anybody within the party? Because we know that the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, has vested interest in the PDP, even though he works for the APC.
Well, let me correct an impression that there is no rift, as a result of the venue between the FCT ministers' interest group and the Oyo State governor interest group. And that is because there is no significance to that. You saw what happened when we had our convention in Port Harcourt in 2016. What happened? Atiku still, maneuver his way to win the primaries. So the venue does not change anything about that. So there is no way that would have brought any rift between the both parties. It's unfortunate that they carry that news. PDP is united as we speak. And also, you see, the media need to understand that the venue, in as much as it's not insignificant, cannot change anything.
Doesn't change any of the dynamics.
The delegates or what have you. The delegates are human beings. We saw, just like I said, initially, what happened in Port Harcourt. So that did not bring any issue. We decided to pick there because we have a governor there. Just like I said earlier, we don't want any eventuality whereby our venue will be sealed, haven't arrived there or prepared so much to, hold the convention in Kano. That was the basis for why the convention was moved to Ibadan. So there is no issue about that. And for the issue of the FCT minister, it's not, I keep on telling people that, no, the FCT minister is on national service, just like you're on national service, a youth copper. I'm from Rivers State. I served in Taraba and I gave all. And my student, when I was teaching in a village called Kungana in Bali local government area in Taraba State, up to date still call me because of my contribution to the. So the FCT minister is on national call. And good thing, he has said it himself that he notified his party from the grassroots to the top. So he's not serving the APC government, so to speak. He's serving his nation. And that is the way I want people to see it.
But his current arrangement has also been used as a reference point for some PDP members who affiliate with the coalition. They say, yes, they are PDP card-carrying members, but they are just the same way Wike is a PDP card-carrying member serving under the APC government. They are PDP card-carrying members and also aligning with the coalition.
You see, let me say this before I go to this one. You talk about the presidency being zoned to the south.
Yes.
The founding fathers and stakeholders have not zoned it. They are appealing
for it to be zoned
to the south, which we have been echoing and we have been talking about right before this the founding fathers convey that conference. So we believe and hope that the zoning committee, which the NEC yesterday, confirmed and given the responsibility regarding that, will be able to come up with something that will be appealing to, the whole nation and appeasing to the, southern part of the country to produce the presidency. Now, having said that, you see, those people that are saying they are card-carrying members and they work for the coalition cannot be a political hermaphrodite. It's not possible. They want to be political hermaphrodite. It's not possible. You're either a PDP member or you're ADC member. So you cannot stay in PDP.
They didn't say ADC. They said coalition.
No, coalition. That we know the coalition is ADC. Which other coalition do we have? All the individuals that came together, they have migrated to ADC. And that is the coalition today.
Apart from maybe a Peter Obi?
Yes, Peter Obi has seen the handwriting, and that's what we have been saying. That
So
it's only ambition that drives Atiku.
So
guide this movement, because Peter Obi has seen that the coalition is purposely set off Atiku's ambition. So he need to realize that and retracting his steps. That is that. So for them to come, and let me say this, they are not, Wike is not the person. Wike is not working for APC, he's working for the federal government. And let's assume, but not considering that he's working for APC. It's not the first. The former vice president, if you recall, in 2006, resigned as a PDP member, but did not resign as the vice president, and contested. He was the vice president under the PDP platform, but contested the presidential election in 2006 under AC platform. You understand that? So people are making mistakes. People are forgetting history. And this is the same vice president that deprived us of the government house in Lagos State in 2003. He confessed it himself in 2018 in Lagos, at the PDP secretariat in Lagos. So it is not Wike that started it. They are just looking for coverage. Look at Tamboa. Same thing. Good 18, one of our leaders have realized himself and said, no, he cannot leave or crawl to a small scheme party. That is the person of Sule Lamido. He initially was supporting saying that he's going to work for Nigeria. Anybody that wants to work for Nigeria, for the people of this country, and wants to unseat this ruling party, ruling APC government, the only party they have and platform is the PDP. Any other thing is just they are working for the ruling party.
How true are the suggestions that the PDP is luring Peter Obi to come back to the PDP? And if a Peter Obi does accept to come back to the PDP, will he get an automatic ticket to be the party's flag bearer?
No, you see, our National Deputy Publicity Secretary, a fantastic, one of the finest publicity secretaries we've had, has said it that the party, on good authority, the party is trying to reach out to Peter Obi to come back to his family, original family. And also, you see, him coming will not be an automatic ticket thing, because I also want to use this opportunity to advise Peter Obi he should accept challenges within the party, not running, because this thing, others are pushing out. You might not be able to give what they give during the primaries, but sell yourself enough that the little you will give, which your ability to be able to sell yourself to them will be able to enable you secure the ticket. Not, looking for a party where you get automatic ticket, that kind of a thing. Because a lot of people like me, I'm of the view that reward system, party should have a good reward system. I still recall why the former deputy governor of Sokoto State and former minister of water resources left. It's a poor reward system in the PDP. So if somebody just jump into the party and take ticket for the purpose of winning, that's why we are having issue like Jando in Lagos. 1 month to the election, he joined a few months, 2 or 3 months to the election, joined the party. Immediately he lost out, he jumped out of the party. Same thing with former governor of Kebbi State, who got the ticket, of our party. After a few months, he jumped out of the party, that kind of a thing. So no matter what, we should encourage those that have remained fervent and faithful to the party. They can be sellable.
But don't you agree that right now Peter Obi seems to have the kind of support and followership that the PDP might need to be able to achieve its goal of unseating the APC in 2027?
I totally agree with you. You have that political currency. There is no doubt about that. I'm not, downplaying that, but I'm also trying to make sure that those that are remain fervent in the party should also be encouraged. We shouldn't look at which my party is always doing. We don't look at just grabbing power. We are grabbing power for a good reason. We are grabbing power to ensure that, PDP, Nigerians rather, are the centerpiece of our grabbing power. That is PDP for you. We are not just coming to power just for the sake of coming to power. You have been in power since 1999 to 2015. The next thing, you just left out after 2 years. You started campaigning that you are hungry. We don't deceive people like the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi. If we are seeking for power, we are doing it for the purpose of Nigerians, to wipe away their tears. You remember our 16 years in government, how this, we are even seen as the happiest people in the world. That is to tell you how much it is, not to talk about the fastest growing economy in Africa, third fastest growing economy in the world. Our image was fantastic. Our economy was supercilious, and so on. So that is it.
Okay. Now let's look critically at the chances of the PDP. Considering the fact that, yes, now you've held the neck, now everybody is gearing for the national convention, which will further consolidate the structure of the party, because national executives would be elected, and of course a lot of fallouts that will determine the direction the PDP will go. But let's look critically at the current political landscape. One of the conversations that is on the table is the fact that there are certain political schools that are suggesting that, yes, it's good enough that the PDP is looking at zoning its ticket to the south, but that it is more advisable that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC be allowed to finish his second term. And then at that point, everybody can reevaluate the political chessboard. What is the position of the PDP on this thought line?
No, you see, the PDP, we cannot allow APC to continue. Nigerians are the ones even calling on us that, please come on board. We have compared your 16 years with the APC 10 years, 12 years rather, and we discovered that you are the best. So please come back. So if Nigerians are yearning for us to come back, we cannot say because a Southerner is the president, we should allow it to stay till 2031. We have Southerners in PDP, capable ones, presidential material at that. So what we're also looking at, putting into consideration the unrating convention between the both South and North, is that we will just pick a Southern candidate. That's what we have been advocating for, people like us. A Southern candidate that will stay 4 years there and ensure that by 2031, power shifts to the North. So that is what the PDP is looking at. And that is what we are, pushing for. And that's why you saw that our founding fathers and stakeholders came on board to, lend voice to what to us, since we have been making that campaign. So that is the position. We cannot just ignore the cries, the pains, the agony, the suffering, the retrogression Nigeria is going through, and Nigerians are suffering.
Oh, it is one thing for Nigerians to call for the PDP to come back, but it is another thing for the PDP to truly secure the ballot come 2027. So what are the lessons the PDP has learned from 2023? Because in 2023, PDP was the second party based on the results. And yet, despite all its attempts to legally proved that it won the 2023 elections, the apex court of the land still chose to give it to the ruling APC and President Bola Tinubu. Right now, Nigerians are of the opinion that based on what they've seen in the last 2 years, the APC seems to have everything wrapped up. And even from the words of their new national chairman, they seem very confident that 2027 is going to be a stroll in the park. So, what are the lessons the PDP has learned going forward, hoping to be able to truly put the needed strategy, structure, systems in place to ensure that 2027 will not go the way of 2023?
You see, definitely we're putting all our strategies together to ensure that we'll see the ruling party and will not let all out of the bag right now. We will not let the cat out of the bag right now. But to let you know that that is one of the reasons why PDP is looking at zoning the presidential ticket to the south, because that is one of the issues we had in 2023 that affected our performance. And also, we are also looking at, we are also calling on electoral reform, most especially the electronic transmission of result. You remember that's one of the major issues we had, that there was glitches at the presidential election result announcement level. So we are saying that we don't want manual collation of results. From the polling unit, there should be direct transmission of results to the center, to the server, and every Nigerians interested can be seeing the result on the server, can monitor it. That is the only way to incentivize Nigerians to come out to avoid voter apathy. And we have started that campaign and conscientizing Nigerians to join PDP to ensure that the what is it called, the National Assembly amend our 2022 Electoral Act to make it compulsory, not optional, for the electronic transmission.
I'm happy you mentioned that, because some political analysts have looked at the current trend in the National Assembly. Now you have the APC holding majority seats in the National Assembly, and the talk of electoral reform has continually reared up its head. But what is the guarantee that, especially now that the PDP seems to become the minority, that you will be able to push through for the National Assembly to do the needful when it comes to electoral reform, considering that all the individuals in question at the National Assembly also have a stake when it comes to the 2027 elections?
You see, I understand your point of view, but one thing I want them to also understand, and that is why we are pushing for that electronic transmission of results, is because them being there, they should put Nigerian first, not their interest. And
but we've not seen that happen.
Yes, and secondly, they should also know that some of them at the party level, they might lose out. So if they ensure that that transmission, electronic transmission of result is done during the 10th assembly, it will be a credit to them. If I were to be the Senate president, I'll push for that, because it will be that it is the 10th Senate that reform or ensure that Nigeria electoral system is fraud-free, so to speak, and it's incentivized Nigerians. No amount of political awareness will incentivize the people enough to come out and vote when they still have that mindset that their vote will not count. But when the people see that there is electronic transmission of results and the Gen Zs can monitor it, from when they vote, the next thing they'll see it on the server. You see, it will go a long way to encourage the young voters. It will go a long way to encourage the Nigerian citizens to come out to vote. It is not by saying come out and vote, it is your civic right. No, do what will entice the people. And what will entice Nigerians today is the electronic transmission of results, because they too know that at that point their vote will count, because that is the only thing that can incentivize them to come out and vote. And that's why we are urging the National Assembly to look at that section of the Electoral Act and ensure that there is, amendment. It shouldn't be manual. We should go beyond manual managing of handling of things.
Yeah, but you know that as we speak, constitutionally, IREV is not part of the Electoral Act. So now there is a review of the 1999 Constitution as amended going on across the country. What machineries has the PDP put in place to use this avenue to push home the need for electoral reforms?
You see, I was on a platform and I told them that it's quite unfortunate that Nigerians love drama and we love wasting our resources, because what conferences are electoral constitutional conferences are you calling for?
Yeah, town hall meetings.
We've had several, and none of them wasting billions of naira, taxpayers' money. We have a very good document called the 2014 Constitutional Conference under Jonathan. Dust that document.
But why is there avoidance of that document?
I don't know. Look at it. Which every part of this country, the religious leaders, the political leaders, the youth, the women, the disabled, the professional bodies, all of them were involved in putting up this document, and they all accepted it and even call it the people's document. So I wonder the rationale behind this constitutional review zone by zone, and it's just waste of resources, and the timing is wrong. We are, this is one of the period the fastest time we had the electoral campaign indirectly. That 2 years to the election, we've seen some almost open political moves towards the 2027 election.
Yeah.
So I think it's wrong timing. I think it will still end up like every other constitutional review conferences and committee in the archives. What I expected the National Assembly to do is to dust the 2014 confab document and peruse it, see where they need to do amendment, present it to Nigerians to adopt it. Then they now take it to the floor of the Senate and the red chamber and the green chamber to work on it. But it's just waste of resources, and these are resources we need to establish cottage industry where young people will be able to be employed. But it's unfortunate that our leaders don't think in that direction, and that's why I say Nigerians, we love drama. They just want to show that they are working. We are not impressed about the Constitutional Conference. What we want, they should be able to give us electoral reform in that act, which is also in the 2014 confab. And that it was PDP that introduced electronic voting and this thing. Most of the political reform, electoral reform rather, you see today that the APC has benefited from is the PDP. That is to tell you how much we love this nation and we want this nation to progress.
Let's go back to the National Assembly. Before now, we've seen somewhat of deliberate attempts to shut down attempts by PDP senators, PDP honorables who have raised certain eyebrows in terms of certain policies and positions of government. And now, with the diminishing number of PDP senators, one begins to wonder how potent is the PDP's position in both the upper and lower legislative chamber.
You see, I want to say that
why I ask this question is we've seen Senator Seriake Dixon, former governor of Bayelsa State, raise a number of issues, and he's more or less almost thrown to the dogs. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has been suspended. Now the National Assembly has gone on recess. She tried to resume a few days ago, and she was stopped by security personnel. The PDP has not really stated its position. So some political watchers are wondering, is the PDP giving these senators its voices in the National Assembly the kind of backing that they should have?
Yes, they are. The PDP senators, the PDP House of Rep members are doing that very well. if you look at what is happening on the floor, if you are following the event on the floor of the chambers, both chambers, you see that the PDP leadership in the National Assembly are doing a lot to ensure that they don't cow and subjugate and silence the voice of opposition, members on the floor. You've seen Abamoru do that. You've seen one of the finest legislatures we have in recent time, the person of Honorable Kingsley Chinda, the minority leader, doing that very well, excellently well. He has been outspoken on the floor of the House. It's not just making noise that is the issue in the National Assembly. It's how you can strategically articulate your point and present it before your colleagues to convince them to do that which you believe is right for the people of this country. And Chinda has been doing that excellently. And, I believe PDP is very proud of him. We're very proud of his performance on the floor of the House. You remember when some members, he drew the attention of the speaker and put the speaker on his toes regarding section 109 of the Constitution, when some members defected and came up with very flimsy excuses. And there are several issues he has raised that has to do not just about his home state, Rivers State, about this nation. That is how legislators should do. That is how legislators, when elected, should not be too partisan, but look at the interests of the nation. And that is what Honorable Chinda has been doing as a minority leader on the floor of the Green Chamber. And that is to tell you that PDP has one of the finest representatives in the National Assembly that is putting the leadership of the National Assembly, the ruling party on the floor of the House, to their toes. You see, most times, if you look at you watch their sitting, you see how Chinda will come up and speak and challenge the status quo. Even when they try to silence him, he'll say, "No, I will tell you, Mr. Speaker, this is wrong. Put yourself in our shoes." And you see, speak from his heart for the party, for those that have been, for those they are trying to silence, and also for the nation. So PDP is doing very well on the floor of the both chambers. I can tell you for sure.
Okay, let's go back to the NEC meeting. In a show of firmness, the NEC instructed the National Working Committee, NWC, to take legal action to reclaim the seats of lawmakers, both at national and state levels, who have defected from the PDP to other parties. Is this the right move, considering that at this point in time, the PDP needs to show a united front, a formidable force? I have followed the PDP for years, and I know that one of the first things the PDP always tries to do is have some consultations, reconciliations, as it were. I know that the PDP is one of those parties that has always set the example by having reconciliation meetings to talk to erring members, so to say, as to ensure that the house, the family, remains united. So this show of firmness and taking legal action, is it the right way to go with regards to seats of lawmakers, both at the national and state levels, who have defected from the PDP?
Yes, because I'll say yes, because the party has done consultation, and they did not stop at that. They felt they should give a bite to their backing. Just like I told you, one of the finest legislation we have, Honorable Chinda, has been, raising his voice on the floor of the House against it. And maybe I believe the leadership of the party at the National Assembly must have brought it to the attention of the party that, look, we need to show some strength to, Nigerians, that the party is a disciplined party and will not tolerate people just come in and go out with our ticket. Nigerians vote you because they love PDP, not because of your person. And you cannot just that is political criminality, I will call it.
But
taking our mandate and running away with it.
But defection cases have never really gained ground. They've never really.
It has happened. We saw in Cross River State or so, some National Assembly member lost their seat. I think in Akwa Ibom State or so, one or other. So the thing is that we want to ensure that we are the world see us as a disciplined nation. That's why we are going to court. Because it looks as if you are watching, outside the shores of this country, it will look as if we are a nation that is not disciplined. When people will jump from PDP taking the mandate of the party that brought them to power and move to another party without having that moral, commitment to show integrity by resigning if you so love the other party you are moving, or if you are moving to that party based on principle. So PDP want to show the world that, see, come, we are a disciplined nation by going to court, emphasizing on that section 109, because we never had, faction in the party, no two faction at any point in time. Yes, we have our fair share of interest wrangling, as I was always love to call it, and every other party do. In fact, it is worse in the ruling party. And I haven't done that. People just take that excuse and leave the party and say the party. No, the constitution made it clear. There must be clear division at the national. There must be two faction, not just faction, two national officers and office. But in this case, there was no time there was two national office and officer. Like we have a national chairman, we have another national chairman fighting over the position, national, and so on, other national officers. Nothing like that. So their defection.
But there was a squabble for the office of the national secretary.
No, there was a squabble, but there was no division. The constitution used the word division. And division is not just the national secretary. There must be division at the national level. That is, there must be parting of, there must be two national executives.
There must be factions.
Yes, not just faction, two national executives. That's scrambling for who is the authentic national officers. That is what the constitution said. So if the constitution says that, why will you now, because there is interest wrangling over the position of the national secretary, you will now say the party is having, is divided, and so the constitution make it expressly clear. They know the truth, but they feel if they move to the ruling party, as the former national chairman of APC said, their sins will be forgiven. So even though their action is wrong, their sins will be forgiven. That's why we believe some of them are moving to the party.
Yeah, but
party,
former Senate President
them,
and chairman of the PDP BOT, Adolphus Wabara, did say that many defectors will return to the party if it delivers strong and inspiring leadership at the coming national convention. If the defectors return, what would the party do? What does the constitution say that the party should do to members who defected and they have now come back because they feel the party now has shown structure, leadership, and stability?
No, it is very clear. It is expressly clear in section 8, subsection 17 of our constitution, that when you leave the party and come back to the party, you lose your privileges and seniority. So that is one thing I want to let them know. When they come back, they'll lose their privileges and seniority no matter who you are. And this time, people like us want to take it upon ourselves to ensure that we enshrine discipline in the party. If any of them, we want them to come, but if they come back, they will queue based on the constitution. And if the leadership of the party at any point in time give them any special privilege, we'll go to court to make sure that the party constitution is respected, because that is what has put us in the quagmire we were, which we have come out of. Because not respecting the constitution was what put us in the mess we were in 2023, because the constitution was especially clear about respecting the pulse of the nation and the people and the zones and the regions, because the constitution said rotation, it talks about equity, fairness, and justice. So we failed to do that, and that was what led to what we experienced before we came out of it. That is, the interest wrangling, because it was clear that they ought to have zoned it either to the north or to the south, and the pause is for it to go to the south, and they did not do that. They opened it because Senator Ekweremadu, when he was there after the 2015 election, they set up a committee. He made it clear that the pulse of the nation is the presidency to go to the north, and they set up zoning committee. The zoning committee looked at his report and sanctioned it. And that was how we had Atiku coming on board, and even went as far as trying to we amended our constitution to bring him in. Section 54 and 7 was amended from if you become a member of the party to be able to contest on that platform from 18 months to 1 month.
Has that section been re-amended?
And to get appointment as a party man from 1 year, that is 12 months to 1 month, and that has have an adverse effect on us. And people like us, we are hoping to present an amendment to that section for it to be reverted to the 2012 constitution as amended, that says 18 months before, because it gives you the ample time to understand the ideology of the party and also the constitution. And that's why you see people jump in, jump out, because 1 month, what do you understand? You don't even have enough time to fraternize with the members. It only encourage money bags to come, hijack the party and go, and we don't want that, because it's the people's party. PDP is the people's party. So we are looking at that section to be reverted to the way it was, 12 and 18 months respectively, section 54 and 7. And we are very much concerned that to ensure discipline, that section 8 and section 8 subsection 72 will be enforced, whereby if you leave the party and come back, we welcome you, no problem about that, but you will lose your seniority, you will lose your privileges that has been conferred to you by your former status. You will lose it, and you have to queue, because there are those people that have been in the party bear all the pains, bear all the discomfort, are not fools to have remained in the party. If everybody should leave the party and come back, who will make the party be good for you to come back to it?
Well, comrade, it's been quite a conversation. Time definitely not our friend, but I'm so glad you could make our time to be here, because you have shed a whole lot of light on the developments and fallouts of the NEC meeting. I am looking forward to the 102nd NEC meeting, because, like you rightly said, there are Nigerians who are hoping that the PDP will be able to reposition itself to be the true opposition party that it ought to be in the build-up to 2020. So, in our parting words, what will be your words to Nigerians and PDP faithfuls across the country listening to the show this morning?
I will want to say that we appreciate Nigerians, and we want to plead with them to keep hope alive, to keep faith with the PDP, and keep hope alive that PDP has been repositioned, and we are working towards our national convention for new leadership to emerge. And we must also commend the present national chairman that has done a lot and made a lot of sacrifice to ensure that the party is united, and we are, taking our place in the political firmament in this nation. And I also want to encourage members to support the leadership of the party and also speak when it is necessary, not just to protect an individual, but to protect the interests of the party above, group interests and personal interests. I want to thank Nigerians for that.
Thank you so much, Comrade Walmate, for making our time to be with us on this edition of The Arena. And of course, we will keep our ears to the ground and follow developments as far as the PDP is concerned. 2027 promises to be quite interesting. The build-up, I was discussing with someone a few days ago, and we said 2026 will be explosive to give direction to what Nigerians should expect in 2027. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there you have it. It's been quite an incisive conversation, and looking at the fallouts of the National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party. Of course, the APC did hold ears. We will also take time to look at the fallouts of the APC's NEC meeting, and but at least now we know, come the month of November, the PDP will hold its national convention, and that will give us some clear direction as to what the PDP intends to do come 2027. To everyone who's kept it locked on 96.1 FM, thank you so much. Of course, more to come at the top of the hour, our Igbo show, and of course at 11 a.m., Fresh Talk will be in the house to take you through. And then 12 noon, will bring you the national news right here on The Voice of the People. Remember, now you have a voice. I am Nkamian John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.